If we tried it, we can make it. But don't we ever just take some chances and stop your thinking and start your living. Get your shoes on, we're going dancing.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Good Steward Homestead. I know it's been a while, but we're still here and we're still going. So hi Mama Ghost. That's the outdoor cat here. So here I am, the unedited real me, pimple patches and all, because I am breaking out. But you saw our turkey poults in the opening there, and we have 12 of them currently, but I have somebody that's going to buy 4 of them. We raise heritage breed bourbon reds here, and so that's some of them from last year. We still have 3 hens left from last year. I was going to butcher them, but I haven't done it yet. I'm really thinking about moving one of them over here with my breeders because we lost one of our hens over the winter. She was our broody hen, and then she sat and sat and sat and sat, and we kept having to take eggs away from her. And then she started molting, and then over the winter, because she molted in the fall, we think she just got too cold over the winter. So what have we been doing since the last video? It's been a lot, but I'm gonna show you. How do you like my new hat? I really like it. Anyway, I'm gonna show you our goat kids. We have 6 of them, and then I think we're gonna head up to this sewing room upstairs and tell you what we've been up to. So let's walk out here to the kid pen. We moved the kid pen. It was on the edge of the property, up against the fence, our neighbor's fence and all, but we decided to move it into a more shaded area, closer to our doe pen. We also started working on a goat barn, but then we kind of ran into a little trouble with it, so it's kind of halted for the moment. And I didn't do a garden this year. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. And hi Ayoka! And Ayoka will be a year old in a couple of months. Oh, now you can hear the babies. So let's get down here and show you the babies. It is feeding time. So here's our babies, all girls but 2. So right here in front are Thyme and Fennel, and then we've got Clover is the little blonde right here, and then we've got Rosemary is the little tiny brown one that's right here, and then this one right here is Sage. And which one do you have?
Honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle. That's Honeysuckle that's being fed right now, and they're all bottle babies. She's got her audiobook going. So these are all of our kids. So Clover was born first, and then it was Honeysuckle and Sage, and then it was Thyme, Fennel, and Rosemary. And our mamas are down there. But yeah, they're all bottle babies this year.
I've got to get the brothers now.
Yep.
Where'd you get them? There you go. There you go. Oh, come here. Come here.
So now you've seen the babies. Let's head back up to the house. And we'll talk. Hi, Ayoka. Yoga's gotten so big and so wild. She has gotten so pretty, y'all. I mean, she was pretty to start with, but look at this dog. Hi. It's hard to stay on her and zoom in at the same time. Hi, Ayoka. Whoops, sorry. But yeah, she has become a really pretty girl. And she is still as wild as ever. But let's head back up to the house and I will fill you in on everything that's been going on. And why we didn't do a garden this year and all the craziness that's been going on. And well, not really craziness, just the day-to-day, and that was part of the reason why I didn't videotape, is because I didn't figure you guys would want to see us doing the same thing all the time. Yes, Miss Ghost, I hear you, baby. And you hear Tally as well. But let's head into the house and upstairs. Before we go upstairs, I wanted to show you guys this. The eggs are coming in like crazy. And yes, I do sell these some. But yeah, we've got turkey and chicken eggs coming out our ears right now. Because we don't eat a lot between the two of us. So I gotta figure out what to do with these. Anyway, let's go upstairs. Okay, so I'm a little out of breath because I had to go back downstairs and get my sinus medicine and my water here. So I've had a time with my allergies this year, but anyway, and y'all know I don't edit videos that much. I pretty much just hit record and go. What do you think? My outfit today. I was so excited. We went to Walmart and an older lady stopped me in the parking lot and she said, can't get my medicine open. She said, oh, you're like the cutest thing I've seen today. I'm like, oh, thanks. And I had a younger, she was an employee there, but she stopped and took a look at my outfit and she was like, that is the cutest. I love your outfit. I was like, oh, thanks. So anyway, it was one of those interesting situations where, I don't know, people see something different and sometimes they like it and sometimes they don't know what to do with it and it's all good. But anyway, so down the hatch. Okay, so I have really, over the last, I guess, well, you guys were with me when I was still learning colonial period, colonial America. I was kind of into like the 1790s, and after the war for independence here, I think I'm just gonna lose this, so ignore the hair, I know, and being outside, I'm all sweaty and my hair's like stuck to my head anyway, but the hat's got to go. So you guys remember me doing several videos about the colonial American period after 1776. I think I did a whole video on the first full outfit that I made. So in the last year or so, I guess it's been a little over a year, I have moved forward in time with my sewing projects, and I have really been focusing more on the latter half of the Victorian era, going into the early Edwardian period, which I tend to pick it up somewhere around 1870 all the way up to 1909. And what I tend to focus on is more like rural and farm type clothing, like what you would, particularly because I'm in the foothills of North Carolina, and so we're right on the edge of the Appalachian Mountain Range here in North Carolina. And looking through my family's history, we came to America. We migrated to the Appalachian Mountain Range, particularly around the North Carolina, Tennessee, both sides. So that portion of the Appalachian Mountains. And then over the years and all, we've slowly, I guess, migrated back out into the foothills around North Carolina. We've still got family that are in the Appalachian Mountains and in Tennessee and just all over now. But because that is my family's heritage, and my family's background is that they were sharecroppers and farmers and really that rural, kind of poor type mindset. So they would not have had like the most fashionable clothes of the Victorian period, and they would not have been wearing the same styles and everything that you would see in the Victorian fashion plates and the fashion magazines, and rural clothing rarely ever survived, because they just used it until there was nothing left of the fabric. You know, they might have made one new dress, and that one new dress got passed down to younger generations, and then from there it would have been remade and reshaped, and then when it got too raggedy to wear as clothing, they may have used it as like a cleaning rag or something like that. So they really just used every scrap until there was nothing left, which is why you don't have a whole lot to go by as far as what the clothing styles would have been for those groups. But I have been able to research a few of those groups and that sort of thing, and what they would have actually been wearing, and that's what I've gotten into wearing. This particular dress that I'm wearing, the pattern for it came from Folkwear. Yes, right here. So Folkwear, this is their 201 prairie dress. And so this is not an exact historic replica pattern, but it is inspired by the wrappers and the house dresses, and the Mother Hubbards is another name for them, that would have been worn by ladies in their home. But one thing that I'm finding in particular about rural communities is that they would have worn this as their outerwear too for visiting, or if this is what they had, if this is the best of what they had to wear, then this is what they wore for going to church or visiting family or running errands in town or what have you. Now they did try to look nice and presentable in public. But they would have, if this is the best that they had, this is what they wore, okay? So, and I've kind of adopted it into just my daily clothing choices. I mean, I absolutely love throwing one of these things on in the morning, and that's just, and an apron over the top, and that's just what I go with. But that's kind of where I'm at with my sewing stuff, and that's kind of what I'm working on right now. Is I have a skirt, a walking skirt. It's an 1909 walking skirt pattern from Sense and Sensibility, and that's kind of my go-to skirt, just when I need a quick skirt. But what I bought at Walmart today was a sheet set, because I really loved this color, and my sister loved it too, so she doesn't know it, but I think I'm going to make her something out of this. And it's just a sheet set. It's a king size sheet set, and I got to remember it's probably going to be a little backwards for you guys because I'm using my phone for this. But the reason I have gotten into Sorry, you're hearing the bag and everything. But the reason I've gotten into buying sheet sets and stuff is because, believe it or not, sheet sets are actually cheaper than buying fabric by the yard, which I think is totally crazy that I can get a sheet set for less than I can get fabric. So this king size sheet set was right at 20 bucks from Walmart. And a king size sheet set will give me roughly, depending on what I'm making out of it, will give me roughly about I'm guesstimating about 8 to 10 yards of usable material here. I have 10 yards of muslin, just plain unbleached natural color muslin sitting on my table over there, that I paid $30 something for. So $10 cheaper than just plain unbleached muslin. And I think that is absolutely crazy that I can get sheet sets for cheaper and use that as sewing material than to actually buy fabric by the yard. So what I do is I just get a hold of my friends and neighbors and everything like that, and I tell them, if you've caught sheets, like a sheet set at home that you no longer want, but it's still got some life in it, or maybe you ordered it and realized it wasn't the right color or whatever, let me know. I will take it off of your hands because I can use that for my sewing. So anything like that, I'm like, give it to me, I will use it. Especially like the cotton material, the cotton sheets and stuff like that, because with them, this is North Carolina, you guys, and our winters are relatively mild, so I can get away with wearing cotton year round. Almost. It's just in the fall and the winter I just layer it up to stay warm outside. But really, I can make stuff out of cotton and wear it year round and be just fine. So that's what I do. I can go to our dollar store down here and get a sheet set for 15 bucks. Now, like prints and colors and things like that are limited with that. I mean, you kind of gotta go with what they have. But there's plenty of it that I have found that I'm like, oh, that would make a cute little blouse, or that would make a cute little skirt, or that would make a cute dress, or you know, or that's really, really pretty, or something like that, you know. So I really don't mind doing that, but I just think it's crazy that I can get sheets for cheaper than fabric by the yard. Anyway, moving on. So that is the plan for this, and now I'm gonna throw it to the side until I can get to it. And I have plans for another apron, but I have not decided what pattern I'm using. I kind of like this. I kind of like this apron pattern, which I have right here. It's from the Paisley Pincushion. I think I got this off of Etsy. But anyway, great pattern. Really, really simple to make. But I also have Butterick's historic apron pattern here. I haven't decided which one I'm going to use. I do use mostly patterns for my sewing projects. I don't really, here we go. I don't really draft my own patterns very often. I tried that. It does not work for me very well. Alright, so, sorry, I have gotten onto my special interest, and it's really hard for my brain to move past it once I get to talking about it. We'll lump that up to the autism. But anyway, let me try and move on, because there's a lot to catch you up on. I think my last video was done in October, maybe? Anyway, so with that in mind, November came and went. Thanksgiving, we had a good Thanksgiving, but right after Thanksgiving, me and my sister Teresa, the one that lives with me that you just saw feeding the baby goats, we just, I don't know what it was, from like Thanksgiving on, it was like she was sick one week with sinus infection and all this mess, and then I would get it the next week, and then she would get it again, and I mean, it was like we were trading back and forth. Each week it was something, all the way up to Christmas. And right now I'm dealing with sinus and allergy mess, so I'm going to be sipping on my water a lot while I talk to you guys, because there is just so much drainage. And I don't want to be coughing through the whole video. And it's a little warm up here. That's why I'm so flush, because I had to turn the air conditioning off, because you wouldn't be able to hear me talk if I had the air conditioning on. So anyway, so through November all the way up to Christmas, we pretty much traded sickness back and forth, and there wasn't a lot going on here other than the daily stuff, you know, going to work during the day and coming home and fixing supper and laundry and stuff on the weekends, and and just the daily chores, feeding the animals, that sort of thing. Not a lot going on. I did pick up a new craft. I tried my hand at watercolor painting, but I wasn't really able to. I still play around with it, but I don't know. This may be a short video. The more I talk, the more I'm gonna. My throat is getting aggravated. So much drainage. Sorry. Again, as you guys know, I don't edit videos very much, but I may have to stop it here in a minute. Whew, and take a breather. Try and cool down a little bit, because the more I cough, the redder I'm turning, and my eyes are getting watery. Sorry. So much drainage. Oh my goodness. Hang on. Let me come back. Okay. Sorry about that. I just had to take a minute and drink some water. And you'll hear the little air purifier fan going down on the floor. I was hoping that maybe getting some air would kind of help. But that's what I've been talking about. I've got so much drainage from my sinuses and my allergies going on right now. That has been non-stop since probably October. So where was I? Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot going on in November, and then of course December came, and again, not a whole lot going on. Just the daily kind of stuff, which I didn't think anybody would really want to see all the time. I mean, there's only so many videos you can do talking about laundry and feeding and caring for animals, and and there wasn't a whole lot going on in the garden at that time either, because I had covered it with the intention of starting a no-till garden this year, but there was just too many things going on all at one time, and so I just took a break from the garden this year. I'm hoping that maybe I could pick it up in the fall or something like that, but I just had too much going on. So, and then right after Christmas, like 2 or 3 days right after Christmas, my sister came down with the flu. And about 2 or 3 days later, after she got the flu, I came down with it. So both of us were sick. So my whole, because I was still working with the Japanese company at the time, and we got like a week and a half off for Christmas and New Year's. And I'm gonna start coughing again, so I'm gonna drink more water, and that may be this whole video. But or I may just have to do a part 2 later or something. Anyway, so the whole Christmas break was pretty much ruined by having the flu, which really sucked. But we got through it, and I went back to work. And after the New Year, and and so it was just the same daily stuff over and over. So again, I didn't do any videos, but also I was dealing with some stress with my job because the company was downsizing significantly. I mean, and they had been downsizing over the last several years, but in I'd say the last 2 years, they downsized significantly, like major from here to here kind of deal, which caused a lot of stress. And so I was dealing, and I don't know about any of you guys, but I do deal with some mild anxiety and mild depression, which I do use herbal supplements to help support my cortisol and my stress levels and stuff like that. But I also have the problem that during the winter in particular, it gets worse. And I know that there are other people out there that deal with seasonal depression and things like that. So I had the stress of work downsizing, and not really feeling like you guys would want to see a lot of the same things or hear me talk about a lot of the same things all the time, and sickness and all of that going on. And so I just really wasn't motivated at all to do videos. And then in February, though, my homesteading mentor, Blaine, he came over. No, sorry, that was the first weekend in March. He came over, and we butchered my first turkeys. So we did 5. I still have the 3 left out there, and I'm seriously thinking about putting in 1 to replace the breeder that we lost over the winter over there, which leaves 2 that I haven't decided if I'm going to butcher or what I'm going to do with them. But I'm just going to hold on to this. But with that in mind, so that was March, and by March the company had downsized to the point where they only had 1 department left, and so I knew it was a matter of time before they were telling me that they couldn't keep me anymore. So that was just adding to the stress that we were already dealing with. And sure enough, so we went through the month of March, and then March 27th was when I got called into the HR's office, and I was told that that I was going to be laid off, and that they would keep me until the end of April. and we decided to go with May the 1st as my last day because that was a Friday, and it kind of would just make transitioning and everything easier. And so the whole month of April was training the people that would be doing my job once I was released, and yeah, and trying to find a replacement job, because as much as I love our homestead and would love our homestead to become a full-time job, and as much as I would love the YouTube channel to just take off, and this to be my full-time job or something like that, and it's not to that level yet. I need a lot of subscribers for that to happen, so you guys gotta invite your friends and all that. And the homestead itself is, it's more, right now it kind of just supplements our needs as far as like food and things like that. But and I do get a little bit of what I call pocket change with the egg sales and the homemade soaps that I do. And last year we did really well selling turkey poults to people around the area, but that's kind of slowed down this year because the bourbon reds have gotten more popular in our area, so I'm not selling as many turkey poults as last year. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna have to keep sipping on the water through this video. But so, and then our 2 bucklings that were born this year, they are up for sale. So if anybody wants a Nigerian dwarf goat kid buckling, please let us know. I will let my sister know, because the goats are her thing. Animal, other than the turkeys are mine. I wanted them, but the goats are hers. So if you are interested in a buckling, or if you want to wait until he can be turned into a wether, then I will let her know and get you guys in touch with each other. So anyway, so yeah, that was a week ago that I got laid off. I've been putting in applications at other places, but I've only gotten 2 actual in-person interviews. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. There's jobs out there, you know, they're posted, but and I've been applying to several over the last couple of months, because I kind of saw this coming, so I had already been applying to places, but I don't know, it's like they're posted and you apply, but I rarely am getting any kind of feedback or any kind of contact of even a thank you for applying, you know, but we've decided to go a different route kind of thing. I'm not even getting that from most of them. So anyway, I've had 2 in-person interviews, and several of them have just sent an email that says, hey, we're no longer hiring for this position kind of deal, but thank you for applying. I've gotten several of those. I did get 1 phone call, but because I was still required to work until May the 1st in order to get my severance package from the company, they were like, oh, well, you know, unfortunately we need someone faster than that. So I've gotten that twice, but now the situation is that, you know, I did work until that last day that we decided on, and now I'm just waiting to hear from somebody about something. Anyway, but I've also, for whatever reason, over the last month or two, have gotten really into creative writing again. I have not done creative writing since I was in school. But I don't know. It's like the creative switch got turned on and I started writing, and in the last 2 months I have written 2 novellas, which are it's like a novella is like it's not long enough to be considered a novel, but it's not short enough to be considered a short story or an essay. So it's somewhere in the middle, and it's a novella. So I've written 2, and I've started a 3rd, but I haven't finished the 3rd one. And I've actually been looking at digital publishing for those. I do have some edits and things like that. And sorry if the camera shakes, it's because it's sitting on my sewing table. But the first one I definitely have to finish editing. The second one is better, but it's still not perfect. And but I would be willing to just throw it out there just to see what happens with it at this point. And the 3rd one is still a work in progress. So so that's something else that I've been looking at doing, is like a digital publishing kind of thing, through Amazon or something like that. I wouldn't be able to charge a lot for them, maybe like $2.99 for a download or something like that, or $1.99 I think is the cheapest you can go. And it's really just to get my name out there and see if anybody actually enjoys reading what I write. I've also looked at something like Patreon or something like that, because I do have other things. Like I've written down some little Bible devotional type things that, well, it was things that I felt like the Lord was working in my heart about. And I was like, well, maybe somebody else could benefit from this, but that would be something that I don't feel right about charging for that. Because I'm just sharing with other people what I feel like the Lord gave me, and I don't feel like that. I feel like that should be something that's given freely. But with something like Patreon or something, those would be like freebies, and then because they do have a pay as you create or something like that, where you can either post it for free or you can charge by creation, whatever. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. None of that is set in stone. Just been telling you what I've been up to. So that's where we're at. So you did get to see our new baby goats, and you got to see our turkey poults. And yeah, I keep having people ask if I'm going to do another run of turkey eggs in the incubator, and I don't know. One of the reasons why I keep holding off is because I haven't gotten as much interest in the turkey poults from people this year as I did last year. And I'll tell you right now, whatever doesn't sell will go in the freezer. And we already have 2 turkeys in the freezer that I did back in March, and I have 3 more out there that need to be butchered and culled. So yeah, I haven't decided on that one yet. And yeah, just adding to my Appalachian rural late 1800s wardrobe, because I really have, I think, to be honest, out of all of the historic eras that I have researched and worked on and recreated clothing for, I think the late 1800s, that rural Appalachian pioneer, this stuff, has been the ones that have just really taken over my daily wardrobe. I have just fallen in love with it, and I absolutely love wearing it as daily clothing. I think the community that we live in has gotten used to seeing, oh, that's the woman that dresses in historic clothes. And they really are, for me, some of the most practical garments. I've even got a pair of pants that I wear that are like modern carpenter pants. I got them from Rural King, that they fit into the time period well enough that I wear them with my historic shirts and blouses and things like that, and I look straight out of, like I was straight out of rural Appalachia on a farm somewhere back in the 1800s. So, but I absolutely love it. I think it would be great if I could find a job that would let me dress like this all the time. I have even looked at there's like a couple of historic places up here that I'm like, hey, maybe I can be like a vendor or something, and this is what I discuss, is the clothing that rural Appalachians would have worn. And just go with that. Maybe show them pictures and things like that from this area. Anyway, at this point my brain is kind of rambling. So that's your update. That's what we've been up to, and I'm going to get back to my 1909 walking skirt and my apron, and I've got some other projects going that I intend to make. I have combinations coming, and combinations was where it was an undergarment that they wore under their clothes. Maybe I'll do a video or something like that. I do still have the podcast, but I also have not updated it in a while, because I wasn't really generating much interest in it, so I kind of just dropped off the radar. I tried it. It wasn't really going anywhere, so I haven't played with it in a while, and it's really hard to sit and talk when you're coughing every 5 minutes like I've been doing in this video. But yeah, so that's what we've been doing on the homestead, and that's your update for today. And maybe I'll get back into doing videos and things like that, and if the channel grows, if there's interest in it. So if you do like my videos, if you do like the channel, if you have questions or anything like that, then please hit the like and subscribe buttons. That's really going to help me to get out there, and I can come up with better videos and better topics. If you're interested in the historic sewing, let me know. We can talk more about that, or if you're more interested in the animals or the gardening or just the day-to-day operations here, then let me know. Send me a message, send me an email. The email is thegoodstewardhomestead@outlook.com. You can leave messages on the videos, comments, all of that kind of stuff. So drop me a line, because if this content is the kind of stuff that you like, and Sorry. If you do enjoy this content, then the more you like them and subscribe, and the more you interact with it, then the more I can do with it. So, yeah, so that's the whole thing with your YouTube, is if you like it, then, you know, do the little thumbs up, do the subscribe, all of that will let me know what you guys want to see. So, anyway, sorry, I'm gonna have to get out of here, drink my water, and do something with this drainage. All right, y'all have a good one. All right, bye. May do that gloss with this too. I don't know.